Hey everybody, this is Sully with 5 Freaking Onion Rings, and I am bringing you the Leader 120. I know this has been reviewed 50,000 times, but I'm actually just going to do a pros and cons with this little guy. There is a major pro, and that's coming up, but let's start with cons. On this frame, I've had a couple of bad wrecks, and one of them sheared off the little piece in between, and I 3D printed a rod to separate. I also broke the camera mount, 3D printed that. So that's actually good and bad in that they are 3D printed, plastic, and they're okay durability wise. The actual frame itself has survived wrecks on concrete with no obvious damage other than a little bit of road rash up in here. No big deal. Everyone knows about the motors. I was lucky in getting the upgraded version, or not the upgrade, but the remastered version, I guess you'd call it, version 2, that has the full speed 7500 kV 1104s, and I love them. Actually, they're great. But we're going to talk cons right now, and that when you do wreck, these are plastic pieces that will break. That's funny, Velcro sticking to my carpet. The major cons I have, and you might not have known this, but these little screws holding the side plates on to the body, these are plastic, which can be a pro, I guess, if you're talking about lightweight, but it's a con in that one sheared right off. And the other half of the screw is inside of the piece. I never tightened it. I just checked to make sure it was tight. And when I had the crash that broke the camera mount and popped out the top, it also broke off that little one. Now it's not affecting anything, still holds in place, still does very well, but it is plastic. And I pulled this one out, which this one came stripped. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it came, I can't really unscrew it safely, and that's when I realized that these screws are plastic. Took one out, and you can pretty much break it if you want, but I don't advise that. So that's plastic. The other being, it doesn't come with a transmitter, or a receiver, and that's fine. You just put your own in. The F3 board that this comes with, I never flew it on the original beta flight it came, but I did flash immediately to 3.2.3. With the stock PIDs, it flies amazingly well. I was able to disable the first and second notch filters without a problem. I'm using a JST, no problem at all. I've had zero brownout, zero anything. The only changes I made off stock, set up your normal transmitter and your failsafe, and what else? I set anti-grav to 3 instead of 1. And I don't even know if I needed to do that, but I tend to do that to all my quads. And other than that, it's been a fantastic flyer. So as far as cons, plastic screws, couple bits that'll probably break, but if you have a 3D printer or access, then you can do it. This little buzzer has popped off on that same crash. And to be fair, I hit concrete from the top of a tree, so I'd snagged a ghost branch and slid upside down on concrete and walked away with no damage. I could have flown away if I wasn't paranoid. Barely scratched the propellers on it. So it's not weak at all. It's just those are plastic screws, so they pop out. And this is held in by foam tape, which we all know, and it popped right off, but I stuck it back in. Haven't had a problem since. So that's it as far as cons. Pros, well, here's the pro. Just stay around, and this actually wraps up my review. But the pro is right now.